I am finally getting around to reviewing Eiyuden Chronicle Rising, a sub-game or teaser game if you will, that is a prequel to one of my most anticipated JRPGs coming out next year, Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Heroes. This game's very existence actually comes from a stretch goal that was reached on the Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Heroes Kickstarter. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the story and presentation of the game. First, we begin with our main protagonist, CJ.
Get out my hood.
Oops, wrong CJ. I mean CJ. Ah yes, there she is, the Honorable Scavenger. She is a young girl from a family who generation after generation has made their living as scavengers or ruin hunters if you will. She came to the town of New Nevea to fulfill the coming of age ceremony that has been passed down in her family for generations. The story is set in the town of New Nevea, a remote region of where primarily the majority of the game takes place. It is a poor rural town that mines ore, and a few months before the start of the game there was an earthquake which led to the discovery of some ruins nearby. It became lively and many people who wanted to get rich appeared. Now right off the bat guys, I want to say that I do enjoy this game's lighthearted nature and atmosphere. The graphics and the 2.5D nature really blends together pretty well, and it gives the game sort of a fresh presentation and a fresh visual. So when you're playing this game, you're definitely put in a lighthearted mood and a sense of adventure. Right off the bat, the game really conveys that really well with its visuals, and I love the way that the character sprites look, and I love the town, how it looks once it actually gets going. And one of the other fellow main characters, Isha, is actually the mayor of the town in which you are trying to rebuild, and the town in which you are trying to gather treasure from with CJ. Now you are to collect these stamps and help out the townsfolk, and this part of the game guys, I will be honest, the beginning of the game is very slow and you have to have a lot of patience in the beginning because it's mostly fetch quests, teaching you how to play the game and things of that nature. This was actually probably the lowest point I had of the game because I just lacked motivation. It really wasn't that exciting and it just felt like go to A, go to B, come back and give it to C. However, this game has a seemingly deceptive charm to it. For some reason, I just wanted to continue to help the townsfolk build their inns, build their taverns, build their bathhouses. I just wanted to see them complete their projects that they had, and honestly you got this little fulfilling animation of every time you help the townsfolk achieve their goal, you will see the actual building process of that goal from the materials that you just went out into the giant forest and gathered. It was really fulfilling to see the work that you actually put in manifest in the game's hub world. So that is an idea that I hope they keep, and I know they will keep in Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Heroes, because that is a staple of the Suikoden series as well. Building your HQ, building your hub world, and watching it grow as you progress along in the game. And honestly, that is where Eiyuden Chronicle Rising really shines, in its town building and its hub world building process. That is where the magic of the game is, and that's where the magic of the game is happening. You watching your town grow as the story progresses, to see it go from this tattered, beat up place to this amazing, bustling plaza full of just people and jubilance. So that is one of the excellent aspects of Eiyuden Chronicle Rising. If you are enjoying the review so far and looking forward to other JRPG reviews, please consider hitting that subscribe button, as we cover all sorts of JRPGs and we have a plethora of different games that we like to cover on this channel. Eiyuden fans, join us on this journey as we wait for the arrival of Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Heroes. Alright, back to the review. And next, now we should go over to our gameplay. Now this is a 2.5D scrolling action game that is based off of a JRPG, so keep that in mind. The budget really wasn't that high with this game, as it is meant to serve as a prequel and a teaser of the world that we are to come to know in the Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Hero game. So with that all in mind, this game's gameplay is serviceable. It's a nice standard 2.5D size scrolling affair, and while there isn't anything too extraordinary, it is definitely satisfying. One con that I had is definitely I wish there were more enemies on the screen. I wish there were a little bit more enemy variety, but just due to the fact of the budget that we're dealing with, this was to be expected. Sometimes I also wish the gameplay and combat was a little bit more complex, seeing as how we have limited options already on how much we can actually do with this combat system. I've played other side scrollers that have managed to keep the gameplay loop really fun and engaging despite not exactly introducing too many different concepts at the same time. So Eiyuden Chronicle Rising plays it relatively safe here by keeping a lot of the options the same while shaking it up toward the end just a little bit when you get your other characters. However, for me guys, it just wasn't enough to keep me truly engaged the entire duration of the game. So while the gameplay and battle system is serviceable, it definitely wasn't my favorite aspect, especially being a person who have played many side-scrolling games. But to make up for its somewhat lacking battle system, one thing I love that this game does is it adds the aspects of JRPG to the gameplay. You can equip items, you can equip skills, and you can even upgrade your weapons in the town, and it really gives it a nice balance of side-scrolling action and JRPG elements. So I have to commend Eiyuden Chronicle Rising on its ability to kind of create this sort of different genre within itself and combining 2.5D with JRPG aspects. So I really enjoyed the innovative nature of what they were trying to do here. One of the more important aspects for me that I feel like in this game is its connection to Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Heroes. Now, I absolutely loved getting an introduction of who Geru is, of who CJ is, and I really enjoy CJ's personality and who Isha is, and just a sneak peek at the other characters that will appear in the main game. So I really do appreciate this game for giving us an insight and a teaser, if you will, on the world that we are about to embark upon, and that just makes me so excited. So I love the world building even in this game alone, because it gives us a glimpse of the amazing world that is waiting for us in Eiyuden Chronicle. And that's why the context is so important, because if you judge this game as a standalone game, I can see this game not meshing well with a lot of newcomers. The music in this game complements the environment and the atmosphere very well, so I'm hoping to see more of this consistency when Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Heroes drops next year. However, it is time to finally give a rating on the CaliQ scale, and that rating is a 7.5. Eiyuden Chronicle Rising receives a 7.5 on the CaliQ review scale. So my overall opinion of this game is that while it isn't extraordinary, it isn't exactly terrible. However, I also wouldn't probably buy it alone. I am buying it in the context that it is leading me to Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Heroes, and guess what? That is exactly what this release was meant to do. It was meant to serve as a prequel and a teaser for the main course that we are receiving next year. Thank you guys for watching this review. Thank you for watching the channel. Please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel for more Eiyuden content and JRPG content. You guys let me know what you guys thought of Eiyuden Chronicle Rising, and if it is a game that you would recommend to Eiyuden newcomers. Let me know. Please be sure to comment, as I love to read you guys' comments and respond to them all. However, I'll see you guys on the next review in the next video. God bless. Bye bye.